say not cinema size, but I often kind of think, especially when I'm in the smaller cinemas and you're in the smaller screen in the smaller cinemas, we always sit up the back for lots of reasons. I don't like people sitting behind me, right?
Yeah, I hate that too.
There's nobody behind you. I also like to sit at the top of the stairs, so there's nobody sitting in front of me either, right? I'm fucking king of the world, baby. So you're sitting there and you're looking at the screen. Sometimes I'd sit there looking, and I'm like this, kind of holding my hands out, arms length, looking at the screen, and I'm like, this is actually the exact same size if I was at home watching on my couch.
Yeah.
There's no difference. The rectangle I'm making with my fingers is the same rectangle I'm looking at in my sitting room. I might as well go home. See you later.
Spit in people's faces.
Yeah. Losers.
Oh, speaking of cinema, that horrible cinema experience yesterday. Fucking went to see a Hong Kong film. And this is a sequel to one they released last year that I really liked, so we went to see the second one. The second one's actually better than the first one.
Yeah.
So the cinema was packed, and you have to get a lift up to the floor that it's on. So the movie was supposed to start at half. We got to the cinema at 1:15, and it took us 15 minutes to get up there. So we eventually get in about 5 minutes. I'd say we missed about a minute or two of the movie overall. But it was about 25 to when we actually got in there. We walked in, we had 3 seats booked. We booked them the night before and got them out of the machine and all that shit. And we walk in, and we had right at the stairs, we had the first 3 seats.
Yep.
So it was like 4 or 5 rows back, but when you walk up the stairs, it's like first seat, the second seat, the third seat, they were our seats, right?
Yeah.
So we walk in, and there's some chap sitting on the outside seat, right?
Okay.
I was like, what the fuck? That's H. Yeah, that chap's sitting in our seats.
Yep.
So Samantha's mum was with us, and she turned around and said, you know, this is our seat. He goes, you made this not, he's like, and he moves, but he doesn't move, you know, out of the seat. He moves down one.
Right.
So he's in the middle seat,
Yeah.
right? And she's like, there's 3 of us. So he moves down then another seat. And she's like, there's 3 of us, we need those 3 seats.
Yeah.
And then he just said, what, in Chinese he said, like, whatever, sit anywhere. So I was like, fuck this, right? Because the cinema was packed. I paid for those seats.
Yes.
I'll sit where I fucking paid for, right?
Yeah.
If the cinema was empty, I would have said, fuck it, we'll sit the next row, we'll sit anywhere, I don't care. I mean,
Yeah.
it was packed. They were my seats. I paid for them. I'm not sitting where someone else doesn't want to sit just because he doesn't want to fucking sit there. So I put my stuff down, I walk out, and I get your man. I said, look, there's some chap in there, you want me up. The guy's like, what? So some man there luckily had followed me out, and she explained what the child is. So he comes in, and he walks in, and he goes to me and he says, and your man starts giving out in Chinese, like, fucking complaining, like, his friend was telling me he was giving out that it's ridiculous, just sit anywhere. So I watched where your man brought him with his ticket. He was sitting in the very, very front row of the cinema. So they would have been sitting like this.
Yeah.
So that's why he didn't want to fucking sit there. And he thought he'd get away with it.
And that was the seat he paid for, like?
That was the seat he paid for.
What a prick.
So he expected me to walk down and sit in that seat just to
sit in his poxy seat, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, you fucking... And I was delighted. Absolutely delighted. You fucking scumbag. Because if you walked to some class seat, I would have been like, shit, I want to sit there.
Yeah.
You know? You got some spastic seat. I'm fucking delighted. I hope you got hit by a bus on the way home as well.
Hopefully, yeah. And then got fucking MRSA when he was in hospital or something.
Yeah, it's just so fucking annoying. It's because it's something so small, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's so annoying. When I was going to band practice last night, I'm standing waiting for the lift. And the way the lift, there's 2 lifts, right? One of them goes to floor 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So it goes to like the even numbers. Second lift goes to the odd numbers. So it was like 1, 3, 5, 7. So when I got there, the lift that I had to get was on like floor 15 or 17, one of them.
Yeah.
I was like, fucking, so I have to wait. So I stood there and I'm waiting. And by the time the lift got to like floor 7 and it started to come down, there was like a queue of about 8 people behind me to get onto the lift, right? So all of a sudden I just heard the noisy fucking cunts shouting, talking, but they fucking scream their heads off, right? And the lift comes down and they just walk past everyone. Like, there's not a queue of people waiting for this lift. They walk past everyone and like try to barge their way onto the lift. And me being in a pissy mood because people had annoyed me when I was walking in the street, I was like, fuck these, it's not happening. It's not fucking happening. So I pushed past the dad and I pushed past the little girl. I was like, fuck you, I don't care if you fall over, you little cunt. So I pushed past them and I'm standing in the lift. And I didn't stand at the back of the lift. I stood right in the middle of the lift, arsehole like this. So they had to come in and kind of funnel around me like that. So anyway, the lift is for 9 people. About 12 of them fit into the fucking lift, right?
Right.
Squashed like this, but not moving. I'm
No.
not moving at all. I was going to the 3rd floor, right? So the lift gets to the 3rd floor. The door opens. I go to walk out. The fucking prick presses the button to close the door.
Oh, wow. Did you get it
I
out?
was like, oh, I got out, yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, sorry, and I just pushed like, just, you know when you try to squeeze past people, you real like trying to do that.
Yeah.
No, I just fucking put my hands like this, and I moved them out of the way, and I walked out. And as I walked out, I was like, fucking cunts.
Yeah.
Like,
Pricks.
I was so angry.
Yeah.
And Spot was like, why'd you get so angry over that? And I was like, because they skipped the queue. I know skipping the queue is not the end of the world, and it sounds like such a nerd thing to do. There's nothing worse than when you're in the queue for something and people skip the queue.
Yes. That's what annoys me most about human beings. It's just the fucking lack of civility in simple situations like that. In cinemas, in bus queues, in fucking post office queues. Just a little bit of fucking civility.
The thing that made me fucking sick yesterday was some woman, and she was in some jewellery shop and she was trying on jewellery. She walks out of the jewellery shop, her kid needed to take a piss. Rather than bringing him to the fucking toilet like a normal human being, or walking down the road, because it's a McDonald's like literally 2 minutes away, she pulls his cacks down in the middle of the street, lifts him up, and gets him to piss into a fucking bin. Pisses in a bin on the street. And there's people standing at that bin smoking. There's they're supposed to smoke. People smoking, she can piss, and he starts pissing.
Yeah.
And he's pissing, and people are standing there going like, "What the fuck? I'm trying to have a cigarette." So they don't want to put their cigarettes out because they don't want to put their hand near the possible piss stream.
Of course, yeah.
And she's just standing there, and then she fucking pulls his cacks up again, doesn't shake him off, which was what annoyed me the most. Didn't give him a shakedown. You know what I mean? Pulls his cacks up, doesn't bring him to wash his hands, and brings him back into the jewellery shop where he proceeds to run around putting his hands all over the doors and the windows. And, you fucking geebag. I swear to God, I hope there's another Nanking massacre and you get taken down, you cunt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, or at the very least, the kid grows up to be a freak and rapes her.
Jesus Christ.
My number one annoyance, and it happens nearly every single fucking day, a couple of times a day, right? You're doing your school runs and what have you. Pedestrian crossings, right? Now, there's a lot of drivers out there that don't fucking honour the pedestrian crossing system, right?
Yeah.
They're approaching, the pedestrian is approaching, the fucking driver puts his foot down. I'm not stopping for you, you cunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm a stopper, right? I'm a polite guy. I come to a stop. Even if it's a slightly awkward stop, where I come to a stop and you have to still wait for the L when she's not even at the pedestrian crossing yet. Do you know what I mean? Now, I won't do it if there's traffic behind me, but I'm a nice guy, right? When people walk across that crossing and they don't even give you a nod. About 1 in 10 people, maybe 2 in 10, a little thumb up or a wave, or even just a nod, right? The other 8 people give you nothing. And I swear to God, one of these days I'll be having a bad day and I'll just floor it. I will just fucking floor it, and whatever happens, happens. Doorboards. The lowest scum.
People out.
Yeah. It'll be in the news. Worse than paedophilia, I think it is. Walking across a pedestrian crossing and not giving a driver a nod for letting you cross.
Sorry, just recommended reading Daniel Radcliffe, Gay Sex, especially for the first time, is really painful.
My immediate reaction was his latest role was as a gay man, and he had done a Daniel Day-Lewis.
He went full Daniel Day-Lewis. It's like going full retard. Just looking at some great mugshots.
My favourite is Hugh Grant.
Great, so that is.
If you showed that to somebody and they didn't know why he was arrested, they would guess. They would guess from his face. It's written all over his face.
Jeez, I just saw Michael Jackson's mugshot.
Yeah?
He was an odd looking man, wasn't he, towards the end?
Oh god, yeah. I'm kind of glad he died.